In this video, we are going to review the MiniMart drawing, sheet A1. We will now review the drawing
Okay, so
MiniMart,
let's review
sheet
sheet
A1.
A1. When we take a look at our title block, which is the first thing that we always want to do when we have a drawing set, we can see our project title is MiniMart and Gaspar. Drawing title, floor plan details. So that's what's shown on this sheet. Scale says as shown, date is given here. Scale we'll talk about in lesson 6. That's just how big the part is drawn compared to how big it is in the real world. And over here we have A1/6. So what that means is that this is sheet A1 and there are 6 pages in the drawing set. So after you read your title block, the first thing to do is identify the views on the page. In this case, we only have one view, and it is the floor plan, and it says view number 1 on sheet A1 of 6, and our scale is 1:60. Okay, so the first thing that you should probably do after you find your main view is try to take a look at the overall dimensions of the part. So here, down the right-hand side, we have a bunch of dimensions listed, and we could add those together to get the width, in this case, of the part. But if we look at the other side, there's a bunch of dimensions here as well. But if we zoomed in, we can see we have an outside dimension that goes from this mark all the way down to this mark on the end. Don't get confused, the 213 is from this mark to this mark, so it's already included inside the outer dimension. So our outside dimension of the part is 8,526. Now, from that, we don't know if that's inches, if it's millimeters, centimeters, what is it? We have no idea. So a lot of times our title block will tell us, it'll say the drawing is imperial or metric, but this one doesn't. So we're going to have to look for some other clues aside from using what we actually think it would be. So when we look at our notes, site work specifications, we can see they're using millimeters here. So 25 millimeters, 250 millimeters. So given the information that we have, we can say that all these dimensions are given in millimeters. Okay, so you also see these circles A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you looked closely at them, all they're doing is giving us the center marks of these beams and posts. So we don't need those for what we're working on. Then we have dimensions that show us sizes of rooms. What you're looking at here, like we said, it's a MiniMart. So we have an entrance door, we have a sales counter, we have a sales room. Basically, it's a gas station, a convenience store gas station. We have a cold room, so a row of pop. We have a storage room. We have women's washrooms, men's washrooms. These little callouts right here, D3, D4, these are our door callouts. On the cold room, all of these, D9, so that's door type number 9. The front of the building, we have D1, so door type number 1. D2 in the back, so D5 off the storage room. D7 to the cold room. So these are all of our doors. You can see here in the area by the sales counter, there's display racks. These all have dimensions on them. But down at the bottom of the page, there's an equipment legend by owner. So this calls out numbers 1 through 14 in these circles. What that is in this area over by the sales counter, all of this equipment is identified with those circles. So all of these things. You will see some other numbers in circles over here. 3 with a line, 4 with a line, There should be more. Yeah, 2 with a line, 1 with a line. These all have to do with electrical callouts on other pages of the drawing. So we don't need those for now when we're trying to identify the equipment. So just the circles, 1 through 14, not with any lines on them. And the last thing that we want to look at are these section callouts. So we know that a section is when you cut a part open and look inside of it. So for instance here, the sales counter, we're going to have section A. It's going to be shown on sheet A6 of the 6-page drawing set. So we also have callouts for section 1. Section 1 here as well. These are repeated, so they're the same in both locations. And we have section 2, which will be shown on sheet A3. Those are our section callouts. So make sure that you read your notes, your site work specs, and your specification notes, and just get a general understanding of the drawing layout.
That concludes our review of MiniMart drawing sheet A1. You can now proceed to the questions in your workbooks or handouts for this drawing exercise.